What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Steeler Nation. What it do? What it be? What it be like? How's everybody doing this lovely evening? And bear with me, guys. I forgot to send off the link to a few people that I sent it to directly. But how's everybody doing? Hope everybody is well. I had to make an audible for tonight. I will explain that to you guys here in just a moment. Let me share the link. Give me 2 seconds. And I will not be before you long. I will explain that to you as well. It's going to be a quick one. I had to make an audible. We were doing the steel table tonight, but we're going to push the steel table. Give me a second. Still trying to calm down a bit if you guys look closely, sweating, been out there dealing with my yard. Boy, I tell you, boy, being a homeowner with your own yard is something else. Trying to keep that grass in order. I told you guys I hadn't cut grass or had to deal with a lawn since I was 18, 17, 18 when I lived with my parents. Yeah. It's quite the task. I don't know where you guys are, what part of the world, but I'm in Pennsylvania, and we've gotten this heat wave, and that heat has done something serious to the lawn. When they built the house, they put down sod, and sod looks good for a while, and then it's not good sod. It's definitely not. It's not good topsoil. I'm in the process of overseeding the lawn. I'll probably do that next week because it's going to cool back down. But yeah, a lot going on. Yeah, a lot going on. But anyway, guys, let's get to it. And like I said, this is going to be a quick one, real quick one. Not doing the traditional show tonight because just a lot going on. I've been on the go since I got home. You guys know I commuted. And I can't be long tonight. Told my wife that I wouldn't be long because we got some other things to do. So this is really just going to be a show for you guys in the chat. I just want to hear what you guys are expecting out of the Steelers in week one. I'll give some light commentary, but we'll stick around for a little while. And then I should be coming back with the pregame show, hopefully Saturday. Hopefully I can get to it on Saturday because I definitely want to talk about prospective players that may be in or out of the game, particularly talking about the Niners. But let's say what's up to everybody, man. Jared Devil, Y Diggy, hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing this evening, Lanisha? Hope you are well, like always. Fellas, make sure you take time to say hello to our lovely ladies in the chat. Zoe Rivers, Charlie Brown, Eric Walker, Cutboy 412, my good brother Tony. Hello, Miss Destiny. What's up, Destiny? Haven't seen Destiny in a while, man, but Destiny's always checking in, man. I appreciate you always. Make sure, again, guys, say hello to our lovely ladies. Joshua Shields, Jay Underrated, Nobe is in the building. Did I say Joshua Shields already? I did. Who else? Guys, it is, boy. Smoking like Joe Frazier, and it's super cold down here, in the man cave. But y'all know how it go. You come in from like super humidity, and your body is trying to adjust to the temperature. Got this cold water right here trying to cool down. Kev, so nice. Real Facts, what up, Facts? Who else? C. Antoine Hill in the building. And anybody else? Jeremy Yoder, D-Mac, Joe Mannix, and Deshaun Davis. What's up? All right, man, so let's get right into it. Like I said, I don't have too much to dive into. It's really about you guys tonight. I want you guys to comment. I'll read a few comments. As you notice, the phone queue is not even on tonight because, like I said, man, I got to be in and out. Got some things to handle. And just chill with the wife a little bit. Y'all know how that is. We've had an extremely long last couple weeks. Won't go into detail, but just, some things going on personally, some people at our church Someone close to us passed away. Again, I'm not gonna go too far into this as well, but my mother-in-law dealing with a couple things, and we think things are all good, but we just been dealing with some things over the last couple weeks, so it's been a lot. So I'm just gonna spend some time with the lady tonight, man, and we got a big day tomorrow as well. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's talk about Desmond King. Let's talk about Desmond King for a moment. I didn't even realize I had this Manscaped shirt on. No plug. Shout outs to Manscaped. Y'all remember when I had the little sponsorship with them? They gave me a lawnmower 4.0. Use your imagination. Shirt, boxes. The boxes are actually fire. But anyway, let's get back on track. Desmond King, man. Listen, I'm gonna just say this. I love that Omar Khan and Andy Weidel, you got to give him credit as well. Everyone else involved with transactions and shaking and moving. I love that they're not, sitting put. They're not standing and sitting and waiting. And we have actually built some real depth. And it's a wonderful thing to see, man. And that's what I actually meant to title this video, and I couldn't remember it. I wanted to say, the Steelers are moving like no other Steelers team I have ever seen in my time watching Steelers football. And like I said, obviously I watched the Steelers when I was a kid and stuff like that. But realistically, man, it wasn't probably until, the early 2000s when I was really watching intently and really, all in. Y'all understand what I'm saying? When you're younger, you're a fan, right? But it wasn't until later on that I really start saying, all right, now I'm really paying attention to the football aspect of it, and wasn't just a highlight fan. You understand what I'm saying? When you were younger, you just rooting for your team, but you don't really know, I'm not gonna say you don't know, but you ain't, you look at the game and then you get up and go do something, you just a fan. Sometimes you might have missed the game. But the early 2000s, and I'm talking like 2001, 2, maybe around there, was when I really started saying, all right, I'm really paying attention. This is the team, to my team now. Well, I'm watching every single game and kind of analyzing things for what it was, and seeing Tommy Maddox and those type of guys. Even though, like I said, I remember Neil O'Donnell, but at them times, I was doing more other things. Football wasn't the main thing on my mind, even though I was a super fan. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So I would say, at least since my time of really watching football, my era, I ain't never seen the Steelers move like this. I've never seen the Steelers move with this type of intensity in terms of building the roster. And some people could say, no, we may have had more depth at such and such year. Or I'm not here to challenge that, but I don't recall how aggressive we have been in free agency and trades and all of that, and just building depth after depth after depth in these different positions, man. I mean, again, going into last week, a lot of people were saying, what are the positions that are still a little weak? Some people were saying, well, cornerback, if, let's say Patrick Peterson is burnt out, right? Then you got the rookie and Joy Porter Jr., you got Levi Wallace, Chandon Sullivan that they brought in, but there wasn't really another piece that you felt like, all right, man, this guy could get us through a game or two if he had to. We wasn't too concerned, we wasn't too big on James Pierre. Most of us were a little more concerned. So it was like, yeah, I think they probably do need another corner or so. And then they go get a guy like Desmond King. I don't, some people are saying, oh, he's over the hill. I don't know. I think he still has been playing well. Did I watch him a lot in his most recent team? Maybe not. But I think his play style and who he is can fit in what we're trying to do, right? And I think eventually you're probably going to see him in the nickel spot a lot. I wouldn't expect to see him start. Again, you guys got to always understand this, because I've been having conversations with Steelers fans already. Man, Desmond King, yeah, week one, he go, don't hold your breath on that only because he hasn't been there. Now, this isn't a Minka situation. We traded for Minka and he went out there. I mean, we had to, you know what I'm saying? We were in a situation at that point where we had to, this guy needs to play. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why Minka had to play so fast and did a great job in his debut with the Steelers. But I just think because guys like Chandon Sullivan has been in that spot, maybe even flirting with Patrick Peterson in that spot, I think you're going to see these guys start off. You know, does Desmond King get in the game? Perhaps. And I don't know. They might throw us a curveball and he's out there first in sub package. I wouldn't hang my hat on that because he's so new to the organization and to the team. You know, he literally just came in. So, and sorry guys, but I'm drinking in the middle of things. But like I said, I'm still trying to cool down. Other than that, man, listen, from top to bottom, like I said, man, if you kind of look at the roster, I think they did a pretty decent job, man. I'll just read the roster here. I'll give some light thoughts on, you know, the upcoming week, and then I'm going right into the chat with you guys. You know, this is you guys' night to throw me some comments and, you know, questions that you might have in the chat. So again, man, like I said, cornerback Desmond King, Patrick Peterson, James Pierre, Joey Porter Jr., Chandon Sullivan, and Levi Wallace. Right now, to me, the question marks would be, what is Patrick Peterson going to bring to us on a down in, down out basis, right? Patrick Peterson is not the man cover guy that he once was. I mean, this is his 13th year in the season, in the NFL, not season, but 13th year of his career. And he's just not going to have the same type of wheels, right? He's not going to be able to keep up with the likes of Jamar Chase, you know, just thinking about guys in our division. Maybe not even a T. Higgins. You understand what I'm saying? You know, a Zay Flowers, you know, even though he's a rookie, he's just not going to be able to keep up with those guys. And I think he's going to give us something, but I think primarily we'll use Peterson in more zone situations and we're going to move him around. Joey Porter Jr., rookie, you know, so I think, you know, he's going to earn his medal, but he's a rookie. He's going to make his mistakes and things of that nature. But I think, you know, Levi Wallace will probably continue to be solid. And then after that, Chandon Sullivan showed a couple things in preseason, but, you know, I don't know so much about his game long term. So there's going to be an introductory period for me watching him. And then, like I said, Desmond King. So, but I think it's pretty solid depth. You know, average age, let me see, where are they at? Relatively young. I mean, Levi Wallace is 28, Sullivan 27, Porter obviously 23, Pierre 26. But, you know, y'all know how I feel about Pierre, man. He's got to show me more. Patrick Peterson 33 and Desmond King 28. The next group we'll just read off here is defensive end, or just talk about the defensive line, period. DeMarvin Leal, Keanu Benton, Martravius Adams, Cameron Haywood, Isaiah Loudermilk, and Larry Ogunjobi. Sounds good to me. Oh, as well as Armon Watts. Offensive guard, Nate Herbick, Isaac Siamalu. Sounds good. Chris Boswell's a kicker. Linebackers, Quan Alexander, Marcus Golden. And y'all already know this, but I'm just, you know, sake of argument, just reading them off again since we've added Desmond King. Alex Highsmith, Cole Holcomb, and Landon Roberts, Mark Robinson, TJ Watt, and long snapper Christian Kuntz. And I don't know if we really care, but I guess he's done a pretty good job. I don't recall any botched punt snaps, so got to give him his credit. And then another offensive lineman who can also swing and play guard, Spencer Anderson. And then you have Mason Cole, James Daniels, Chukwuma Okorafor, Dylan Cook, and Broderick Jones. And one more, Dan Moore, Presley Harvin. And then quarterback, obviously, Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, Mitch Trubisky. Running backs, Najee Harris, and Anthony, I was about to call him Antoine. Anthony McFarland Jr., Jalen Warren. At safety, Minka Fitzpatrick, Damani KZ, Miles Killebrew, Keanu Neal, Elijah Riley, Tight end, Pat Fryermuth, Darnell Washington, and Connor Haywood, which is, they even have him listed here as tight end / fullback. And then at the wide receiver group, Calvin Austin, Miles Boykin, Deontay Johnson, Gunnar Olszewski, George Pickens, Allen Robinson. And there you have it, folks. That is your 53-man roster. Like I said, looking at it like that, man, I think the Steelers did a pretty solid job, man, in their first year, talking about Omar Khan as the lead GM and assistant GM, Anthony Waddle. Is it Anthony? Is it Anthony, or am I making that up? I think it's Anthony, right? But anyway, that's the team. That is the team, man. And like I said, I'll spend a few minutes here just talking about what I wrote there in the title. Oh, Andy. Thank you, guys. Let's see, I'm all over the place. Andy Waddell. I knew it was A something. My bad, Mr. Waddell. But yeah, man. What am I expecting from the Steelers in week 1? Y'all know me. I always got to be modest. I always try to be realistic. I try to take this off, right? I try to take my Steelers hat off, my Steelers bias, and I put on my thinking man's cap, my football cap. And what I will say is this. Unlike previous years, I will say the Steelers have a chance to win. And that's as far as I'm going with it. I'm not going to say, man, I don't think we're going to win. See, I'm changing. So my approach is different in week 1 of this year. What this season could be jump started in week 1. Shout outs to my big brother, cousin Floyd. He texted that to me as well. He was like, yo, man, if we beat the 49ers, this could be a team that win like 12 games. Now, at first, I felt like, I couldn't see that. Right? Because I'm always trying to be modest of the fact that Kenny Pickett is a second-year quarterback. This team is still young for the most part offensively. We still don't know what Matt Canada is going to bring to the table, yada, yada, yada. So I try to be modest, but I can understand somebody saying that, especially with that preference, by saying, if they beat the 49ers in week 1 and it's a good showing, then you could visualize them winning 11 or 12 games. Because here's the reason why. Look, the San Francisco 49ers, man, they were the number 1 defense last year, right? I don't recall them really losing much. They were a powerful offense as well, even with Brock Purdy. I just heard today that they averaged 30-something points a game or 30 points a game, somewhere around that ballpark. And listen, y'all know what I said last year. I think Brock Purdy was getting a lot of praise. Yes, he was. But I also felt like he was a victim of, and a good victim, of the scheme. I think he was a benefactor of the scheme, not taking anything away from him. I mean, listen, it is what it is. He's Mr. Irrelevant or what have you as far as his draft selection, but I'm not going to say he doesn't have skill. I saw him do some decent things out there, but I also saw excellent utilization of what he was capable of doing and the scheme. Because like I said, if you take a look at what he did mostly last season before he got injured, it wasn't like he was a world beater deep or anything like that. They was keeping it simple, basic, short, play action, getting him on the move, getting him out the pocket. He still had to make the play, but what I'm saying, I didn't feel like that he was just lighting it up, just watching him pass and all of that. And obviously you get more comfortable when, this is what we want you to do. Stick to this. You get more comfortable with it. So kudos to him. But I didn't feel like, he didn't make me feel like he was where I feared him. Like a Josh Allen. You're like, oh man, this dude could get hot at any time. Or a Patrick Mahomes or even a Joe Burrow. He didn't make me feel like that. Even my boy, my man, Justin Herbert. I love me some Herbert, man. Boy's talented. But, I didn't get that from Purdy. I felt like the scheme is what helped him. But listen, you got to give credit to that scheme. They do a lot of misdirection. They do a lot of plays off of the same look. Excuse me. Y'all know I've been talking about that for a while. What I love about Shanahan, and that's particularly that 49er offense, is how, especially a few years back, man, I remember one time me and Kenyon and Tony was talking, and they ran like a backside play action to Kittle. I was like, dog. And it was the same look of the runs that they had 2 plays before that. It was mean. And that does concern me. I mean, we assume that we're going to have a good defense, but it does concern you. It's week 1 for everybody. What if we ain't together yet? That happens sometimes when teams beat a team and they be like, oh, they caught them at this time. Okay. Just like when we beat Buffalo. That's what people were saying. Oh, they caught them in week 1. Well, what if we the team that gets caught? Or can we just give credit to the 49ers? This is, again, number 1 defense, high scoring offense. We still got to deal with Christian McCaffrey. We still got to deal with Deebo Samuel. 2 guys that we're keeping our eyes on is I'm hearing that George Kittle and Nick Bosa may not be available. So we'll have to look at the injury report. But let's just assume all of these guys are playing. This is going to be a test, bro. So what am I expecting from the Steelers in week 1? I would like to see some version of what we saw in preseason while Kenny Pickett was in the game with the first team offense. We saw that first team offense against starters and subs. So what I felt good about in both opportunities, right? When they were playing against backups and when they played against the number 1 defense, the Bills, matter of fact, not number 1, but the number 1 unit. I would like to see some semblance of that. I can't sit here and say I'm confident in saying, oh, we're going to win that game. No, I will say I think they have a chance to win it. If the offense is performing like that and, we're able to sustain drives, I'm not expecting us to score 30 points or nothing like that. I'm just saying if we are respectable, let's say they put up 24 points, I think we do have a chance to win the game if our defense, can play the way that we're hoping they're capable of playing. Let's not forget new pieces on the defense. Definitely new pieces on the defense. So, we still got the mainstay type of guys. We still got Big Cam, TJ, Alex Highsmith, who emerged last year. Still got Minka back there. You know what I'm saying? So I expect a lot out of those guys. Larry O, Quan, when Quan gets in there, I expect Quan Alexander to help us out in the run game. But again, man, the 49ers could just throw so much at you. So it's going to be quite a test. And like I said, I'm not expecting them to win. I'm not going to go that far. And I'm not saying I'm expecting them to lose either. I'm just saying I like to see them put up a nice showing, whether they win or lose. If it's 27-24, I could take that. Something like that. 21-20, 23-20. Hey, even if it's 34-35 and they lose like that, I can take it because that would let me know, man, they put up a good fight. They played well against that team. We're only going to get better. I just don't want us to go out there and lay an egg. Because I believe in that. It's week 1 stuff, yes, but at the same time, you still don't want to see how far you have to overcome. Understand what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I expect, man. And that's pretty much all I got, guys, as far as tonight. I think they have a great chance to win. Like I said, I probably will come back and do a pregame show. I can't commit to which day. I might try to shoot for Fridays, because I can get it in and out and don't have to worry about, if I'm doing something on Saturday. I really just want to always get to a point where I see the injury report and then I can, that's what I'll do is report on who's playing, who's not, and give some light commentary as far as what the Steelers would need to do to win. So I will save that until that day. But that's all I got, man. What y'all got? Let's chill here for a few minutes, man. Let's see what the time looking like. 26 minutes, perfect. Give you guys a little bit of time. What y'all got, man? Leonard Green says our best weapon is the 49ers underestimating the Steelers. Okay. D-Mac says, if we beat San Francisco, I'm pulling these ribeyes from the freezer and putting them on the grill and cracking this bottle I got for my birthday. All right, man. Salute, D-Mac. I feel you. Yeah, man. Like I said, like Floyd said, man, if we could beat them, you know, that puts a nice stamp on the start of the season, you know, beating a team like that. Eric Walker says, I agree, Sam. If we lose, but style is respectable in a way that we lose, I'm proud with that. Absolutely. I'm with you right there too, man. Well, you said you was with me, but yeah. It depends on how they lose, you know. And again, if they lose bad, I'm not gonna get overly down because it's week 1. But I will say I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I want to see progression like we saw in preseason, and maybe they just didn't do enough to get the win. I don't want to see them get smashed. I'm not gonna be all the way down if it happens, but I don't want to see that. No. Let's make it respectable if we were to lose, but I do think they have an opportunity to win the game. Shout outs to Luis D for the donation, man. I appreciate that. This is a great question. Which middle linebackers you start against a particular team? Also, I normally don't have high expectations at least midway through the season, but last few preseason years, Steelers offensively weren't good. That is an excellent point you make there. And that's why I say I don't want to see a blowout or them being stagnant. I want to see some resemblance of what we saw in preseason offensively. Middle linebackers, I'm not 100% sure now, to be honest, and that's a good thing. At one time, I was saying, nah, man, it's got to be Quan, because the way Quan came out like gangbusters in the first preseason game. But then Landon Roberts, man, I mean, that boy brings some pop with him too. And them boys, both of them seem to play back behind the line of scrimmage, you know, on the other side of the line of scrimmage. So I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, and that's a good problem to have, where I can sit here and say, I can't honestly say as I sit here tonight, who I would start. You know, I'm definitely keeping Holcomb out there. I think right now it looks like Holcomb might be the best option to play zone coverage and things of that nature in the pass game. But yeah, I don't know which guy. I think, man, even if we kept a healthy rotation, I'm cool with that. Keep guys fresh. Round of applause to my good brother, Y Diggy, man, has been a channel member for 23 months, man. Man, giving me that $4.99 for 23 months, man. I appreciate you, brother. But yeah, he says Calvin Austin flipping the field position on punt returns can be an X factor in winning this game. You're absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. You know, also as well, Diggy, could be a field flipper taking a deep shot, you know, if we set it up right. But absolutely, man, Calvin Austin showed some pop in the punt return game. So little stuff like that, man, this could end up being a field position game. It could be a turnover game. Which team has the least amount of penalties? I mean, it's a whole lot of stuff that goes into a week 1 matchup. So we'll see. Speaking of the channel members, guys, y'all know with the season starting up now, all 22 is back in the mix. So those videos, what I'll try to do is get those out on Wednesdays or Thursdays. And it's only for those who are members of the channel. You know, we go through a few plays and kind of look at some things and just, you know, pay attention to what certain players are doing. And it's exclusive content to you guys. Let's see. Hey, Miss Debbie, what's going on, Debbie? You know what, Debbie? I'm gonna stop calling you Miss Debbie too. You know what? You know that because a lot of people always say, and I'm only saying this, guys, because again, and Debbie knows this. I was raised that way when someone is, and I'm gonna just say assume, I don't know, but when someone is, you assume that they are older than you, even if it's just a few years. You know, the thing to do is to say, Miss so-and-so, you know, like I used to do that with some of the ladies at my job back in the day, but everybody doesn't always appreciate that. Everybody doesn't always want to be given that moniker like the auntie or something like that. So I'm going to just say Debbie. Debbie for now on. I just got so used to saying that. I want to make sure I'm being respectful of you, Debbie, man. Appreciate you coming through like always. And I can't wait till you ladies get back on the show. I love what y'all have to say. I really do. I know y'all are probably orchestrating something like y'all always do. But she says, why don't you pass your Madden sliders to Canada? You're choking me up right there. I don't think I'm concerned about the defense per se. However, I would like the offense to open up the playbook. Too many weapons. Yeah, I'm with you. I am definitely with you there, Debbie. I want to see Canada. And again, I know it might be a slow roll, a slow process, but I just want to see him let loose a little bit with all of these weapons, man. And again, if we're being honest, guys, it might not be something that you notice every game. It's not like they're just going to come out there and run 15 new plays. It's situational play calling. It is sprinkling in a new look. It's sprinkling in a few different plays. It's route combination. Those are the things that we're talking about. Because you got so many weapons. Man, what will we be doing with Calvin Austin? What will we be doing with Connor Hayward as a receiver? Mike Tomlin said, you know, Darnell Washington has surprised them as far as where he's at already as a receiver. Things like that. Those type of things. What else could you create with Anthony McFarland out there? What type of two-back look? You know, what if you put a two-back look out there with McFarland and Warren, the two quicker guys? You understand what I'm saying? That's what I need to see from Canada is get creative in utilization of your personnel and get some matchups, you know, get some mismatches out there. That's what I need to see from this cat. I'm going to read both Walter and D-Mac's comment. Walter Worthy says, I will call a woman miss as a sign of respect regardless of age. Always taught as a sign of respect. Yeah, and that's pretty much why I do it too. Because again, like you said, I've said that to people that I know for sure were younger than me. It's just a thing. D-Mac says, 100 Sim, no woman wants to be basically called or thought of as an old woman or their age talked about. Yeah, and that's why I said Debbie knows that that's not the thing with me. But because I respect and love Debbie so much, I want to make sure that, you know, all of these times I've been saying that it wasn't cringy for her, you know. So, yeah, because one of my favorite coworkers of all time, she retired now, man. I used to call her that, and she used to say, "What? Don't be in here coming here calling me all that like I'm your auntie or something." And I was like, yeah, but she said, no, just call me my first name. So, let's see what else y'all got. Leonardo says, red zone is strictly Pickens and move territory. No more Faze Johnson, please. Yeah. I mean, I understand why they run them because Deontay beats one-on-one, but yeah, I'm with you there. And get Darnell Washington involved. You know, that's a big body, big target to go to. Destiny says, if Bosa plays, would be interesting to see if they use Darnell to chip. Great point. Great point, Destiny. You know, since he is the sixth offensive lineman. Nobe says, Leon, that's when DJ scored on the 2-point conversion. Andre Romero says, no jump balls to Deontay, please. Darius says, I'm just going to enjoy the season. Yeah, me too, man. I'm going to sit back and enjoy the season. We're going to commentate it like we always do. And, you know, just going to be a great fan, hope for the best, and see what happens. Yeah, Allen Robinson, too. We can't forget about Allen Robinson, man. He could be the forgotten guy down there because, again, you know, he's a good route runner as well. So he could be somebody that could cook down in the red zone. Jay Underrated says, if we could block a punt in week 1, the energy and the chances of winning changes. Yeah, absolutely. We have been doing that lately. I don't think I've seen this name before, but welcome, Light Skin Jesus 92. He says, I don't know if it's he or she, but they say limit passes behind the line of scrimmage or first down marker on third down. I totally agree with that. Oh man, my man Tony, appreciate the donation. Round of applause to Tony, guys. He says, man, we Pittsburgh. They don't want to, he said they not, well, man, we Pittsburgh. They not going to be busting. If Pickett can get going, we are a problem. We're going to be playing Smash Mouth. Can't wait. Oh, yeah, tell Kenyon we not impressed with wins. Nobody's. Inside joke with him and Kenyon. But yeah, man, we gonna be busting out there, man. I got a feeling we're gonna see some hits come from Quan as well as Landon Roberts, man. So I'm looking forward to that, absolutely. Sonny Miller says, what is the week 1 goal for the food watching the game? What is the go-to food? I don't know. I'll let you guys handle that. I guess I would say wings is always good for football, I guess. Things like that. But I like to see what you guys say. I don't really eat much during the game because for one, I'm really intently paying attention. For two, I'm taking notes for the recap. But yeah, what do you guys think? What's the go-to food? Destiny says chips and sandwich is always solid. Okay, I ain't mad at that. Nice little cold cut. Walter says never go wrong with wings, ribs if you got the time. And the only thing with ribs, man, you can be in them joints. You be into them wings too, but ribs, you gotta, you know what I mean? Shout outs to Luis, another donation. Appreciate it. Says, do you see Desmond King as an upgrade at the slot? I think so. I think so specifically because of what we had on the roster. That's not a shot at Sullivan. And again, I'm not as familiar with Sullivan as I am with Desmond King. So I would say as of today, yes, that's probably an upgrade. But like I said earlier in the show, I don't expect him to start. We might see him, but, I don't know if he's going to start. Because, he's so brand new to the team. Lanisha says pizza. Okay. Wadigi says pizza as well. Okay. Somebody said chimichanga. Crab legs. Yeah, I can't fool with no crab legs watching the game, but I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. Nobe says he'll be at the game. Okay, bet. Orange chicken. Yeah, see, now y'all going crazy with it now. I love it. Light Skin Jesus says, I think Quan brings the physical aspect back to the middle of the field. Hopefully it's contagious. I could not agree with you more there. Absolutely. I hope that is contagious. Caesar says, anything my queen cooks, boy. See, Caesar took the smart man route. I ain't mad at you. Where we at? 41 minutes. All right, guys, we'll wrap up here in a moment. He says, look for me on TV. All right, no. Man, I'm going to get to one of these games, man. Right now, I told y'all I would keep y'all updated. Right now, it probably is looking like, I think it's the Jags game. Let me check the schedule. Because that's the game that might work for everybody who would want to attend. Because I think in order for Tony to go, it has to be like a 5th Sunday of the month. And I think the Jaguars game is the one I identified. That's week 8. But I got to take my little man with me. My son, he's never been. I told him the next time I went to Pittsburgh, he would go with me because we were thinking about the Monday night game next week. But, that would require for me to take him out of school, and they just started. I don't really want to do that. But we'll see how everything goes. But right now, I think the Jaguars game might be the one. Or I might end up going to a couple games this year. We'll see how the schedule presents itself. But outside of that, man, the last thing I wanted to tell you guys, y'all gonna get a kick out of this before I go. Y'all know I won't be playing fantasy football, right? I think I've told y'all that before. And the reason why I don't play fantasy football is because I tried to play fantasy football years ago. I mean, years. And I found myself not able to do it because I never wanted to root for another team or another player, especially against the Steelers. And then, you're looking for Steelers, and it's not good. So, long story short, my father-in-law has been trying to get me into the fantasy league that they played. They had someone drop out of the league, and of course, he calls me right away. You got to play. You got to play. I'm like, dude, I'm not really into fantasy like that. All right, whatever. Because I could just, father-in-law wants me in it. So I was like, all right, man, I'll do it. Let me tell y'all what happened. We had our draft yesterday. And I think I did it again. And I'm going to tell y'all the rookie mistakes that I made. And again, don't hold it against me because I told you, I don't play fantasy. But let me just tell you what I did with my team here. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this team. Because mind you, I couldn't get everybody because, everybody's picking the greatest players. I was picked number 11. So with my first pick, I took Jalen Hurts. And I understand people say you usually need to go with a running back first, but I was like, I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts. Only running back that was left for me to get on my second pick was Najee Harris. Second running back I was able to pick, James Conner. Wide receiver, Stephon Diggs. Wide receiver, Deontay Johnson. Y'all see the theme? Tight end, Mark Andrews. Flex player, I went with another running back and I got Dylan from Green Bay. Then it was time to pick defense. Guess what defense I chose? You guessed it. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Guess what kicker I chose? You guessed it again. Chris Boswell. So on my bench, then it started falling off really fast. I have Rashawn Penny, Rondale Moore from Arizona, Tyler Algier, running back for Atlanta, Tutu Atwell, wide receiver, and Mims Jr. Marvin Mims Jr. There's another wide receiver. And guess who my backup quarterback ended up being? You guessed it. I don't even have to say who it was. Guess who it is. So here's the problem. I wasn't all the way paying attention to the bye weeks. So because I have quite a few Steelers in my lineup, they are all going to be on the bye at the same time. So now I'm going to have to do some, and I think I picked up enough players to, have a starting team because basically I just needed another receiver. So I have that. When Deontay Johnson is out, I have another running back as well to add to James Conner when Najee is out. But then I'm going to have to pick up another defense. So, yeah, man, I kind of shot myself in the foot there. But, yeah, exactly, Destiny. I told you guys. I told y'all I am not a fan. I don't play. So some people were telling me, nah, that team kind of decent. But then in the group chat, a lot of people was like, yo, who is so-and-so? Because my name on there is top priority. They say, yo, who is top priority? Yo, you got like 5 players going to be on the bye week at the same time. I was like, oh, God. And I promise y'all, this time I didn't go with the strategy that I had eons ago when I was introduced to fantasy the one time. I wasn't trying to pick Steelers. I was just picking the best positions at who was left during that time. But what I didn't think, where I made the mistake, was I didn't think, wait, if you pick those guys, you're going to have multiple people on the bye at the same time. So that was the only mistake I made. I think I did have a better strategy in terms of picking the best player per position, and it just happened to be that it was Steelers that was there. I mean, you can't go wrong with Chris Boswell as the kicker. I feel like I can't go wrong with the Steelers defense considering what they did last year with interceptions and such. I feel like I can't necessarily go wrong with Deontay Johnson because he's going to at least have yards and receptions. Najee Harris, it was a reach because, again, all of the best backs were gone at that time. But I think Najee might have a bounce back year or a solid year running the football. So it wasn't like I was trying to get those guys. It just happened to fall that way. So what do y'all think? D-Max says, Sim, that's not a bad team, but you need to look at the guys still available now. Absolutely will. So I'm probably going I'm going to be honest. I probably come to y'all each week and be like, yo, what should I do? Because I told y'all, I'm only playing because my father-in-law wanted me to play, and I'm going to have some fun with it. But I'm not a fantasy guy. Never have been. Just, because I just root for my Steelers too much, and I'm focusing. And I just never really been the fantasy guy, and you guys are able to see why as I name that team right there. But yeah, Charlie says a learning process. Yeah. So, Mooch says by the end of the season, CU will be. Okay, y'all talk about How about that? How about Deion Sanders, man? You got to give that man some credit. I'm gonna leave it right there because some people their critique of Deion is just out of this world. It's some of the weird things that they say, but you cannot deny him as a leader of men. Some people don't like how brash he is and his bravado, but that's always been Deion. That's always been prime time. And what I've always liked about him is he's backed it up as a player, as a coach, and now on the Power 5 level, go out there and do that. And boy, how about Shador? My God. 4 receivers with 100 yards, 510 yards, 4 touchdowns. Shiloh on the other side of the ball, 10 tackles. And how about Travis Hunter? I ain't never seen nothing like that. I never seen nothing like what Travis Hunter did. And if you don't know, you don't know. I ain't never seen nothing like that. That's all I'm going to say. Wow. And I'm going to tell you, I'm one of those honorary fans on the sideline. I'm a nose fan. Shout outs to my nose getting it done this week. I'm a nose fan, but I will be rooting for Deion Sanders and his success because it's quite the success story for that franchise. For that team, and just this whole thing is bigger than what meets the eye. It's bigger than that. What he's doing, who he is, how he's doing it. Yeah. Salute to Coach Prime, man. I will be pulling for those guys. And I ain't even realized so many people left the team. They said they got like 80-something new players. Crazy. But all right, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Gotta go. Appreciate y'all tonight. Appreciate y'all hanging with me. Appreciate the Audible. Kenyon, we'll be back next week. We should be able to hit that steel table next week after week 1 game. And, we'll have a little more to talk about. I expect to do a pre-game show. Y'all know my routine with that. That's the one that I haven't been able to commit to year by year. We kind of play it by ear, but I'm definitely going to shoot for it. And I think I'm going to try to shoot for it on Friday evenings. It probably will be a little earlier in the evening, but I'm going to try to shoot for those. Really just once I get the, the progress report. I'm thinking about school. Once I get the injury report. And it might not be live. Sometimes those might just be pre-recorded videos, but I'm going to try to get that done on Friday. And if you catch me, if I do it live, hopefully you'll come around. If not, then it'll be a relatively short video anyway. But outside of that, before y'all go, I gotta get y'all to do this, man. That's simple. Those are 3 things that you can do that don't cost you nothing. Don't cost you nothing. Subscribe, hit the like button, turn on your notification. That's it. But outside of that, man, I hope everybody has a great rest of the week. Enjoy football on Thursday. My man, Patty Mahomes. And them Detroit Lions, man, they expected big things. Let's see if they can make a statement on Thursday. But outside of that, I will see you guys soon. Stay safe. God bless. Good night. And like always, thank you for tuning in to Terrible Towel Tuesday. Peace.